G'day and welcome back to my hobby room. Now, the Wing Nut Wings hole that was there in the last video, that's all been filled up. It's all Airfix now. In fact, that whole top row, Airfix. I've shoveled everything around. Airfix is what I love. Airfix is all on the top row there. That's it. Now, this is going to be one of the new segments that I promised, or new videos, things. I was talking television terms, segments and things like that. That's all my years of working in broadcast television, if you didn't know. I was a director. Yep, eventually. I mean, I started as a lowly little tape bloody splicer and everything. Back when we had telecine, film, actual film was I splice the tapes together. There'd be a break in the middle of the movie and they'd run some commercials and I could have 30 seconds, often, to splice a tape. And I had to, but that's another story. Now, this is, as I said, this is a new thing for 2025. So that I get a video out in the middle of the month and give you sort of wind of what's going on. So I'm going to call this one Facts About Recent Tasks. Yep. So I'm going to blow this one out to you. Yes, I'm going to expel this information in your direction and you'll get a good sniff at what I'm up to at the moment, what's on my workbench and what's stinking the whole place up. Yes, that's what the new segment is. Well, it's better than the other one we were thinking of, creative renditions about plastic. Yeah, that would have been a bit rude. And after all the trouble I got wearing my Australian Research and Space Exploration, you spell it out. A-R-S-E. Yep. That hat in the last video, that practically got me demonetised. Just nanny bots, just don't take a joke. But there'll be jokes in this. I don't guarantee they'll be any good, but there will be jokes. So let's get on with my fart. Roll music. Now in these new videos, I'll be just basically filling you in on things that are going on in my hobby room and what's happening, maybe something in my life if that's interesting, It's basically just new stuff and probably about Bass the cat. Yes, Bass? Yes. She always likes to be in the videos. Now look, I've got new glasses and I promised I'll give them a plug. They're called ICU. Yeah. That's it. It's an I and a C and a U. ICU. And these guys have been making my glasses for years for all kinds of things. But my hobby glasses are really old ones. I got those 10 years ago when I first started the channel. I realised I couldn't really see what was going on the bench. So I'd actually bought some 3X reading glasses from the chemist, non-prescription. And boy, everything came alive. I could see the detail and away I went. And I have used those year after year after year. But my eyes have changed, and especially after the resin printer thing, right? The resin 3D printer that the fumes just got to me and made me really sick. They also damaged my eyes. I had massive floaters in my eyes. So we now have these lovely new glasses from ICU, and they are terrific. They are stronger than my other ones. They really pick up the detail. They're bifocal, whatever thing. I don't know. I look straight ahead at my model bench, I can see everything normal. But if I look down at detail, tiny minuscule detail, I can see it. I can see a gnat's dick. Yeah, it's that good. So they are fantastic. So thank you very much, ICU, for those glasses. There you go. You got your plug. I want my next glasses for free. Did you want to be in the video, Bask? Is that what's going on here? Huh? Is it time for you to be in the video? You're going to do no? Oh, where are you going? It's always about fish. Why don't you come and talk to everybody? Your audience would love to see you. No, off she goes. Typical. Well, speaking of Bass the cat, she has now got cushions. Yes, cushions. You can now snuggle up on the sofa with Bass the cat. Yes, we've got a new shop with a lot of products. And because it's in Australia, this one, the postage is super cheap. It's really super cheap all around the world because Australian dollar's worth nothing at the moment. It's free. They're giving it away. That's right. So if you want some of our products, you want the T-shirts, you want the mugs. I haven't got it with me. Normally I'm holding a Tug mug. The Tug mug, the Rondell mug, the Fokker, the Rivet Counters mug. They're all available. And the T-shirts, they're available. And also these Bass the cat ones, right? Okay. There's the one for the group. If you're in the Fokker, the Rivet Counters Facebook group, well, the T-shirt for the group is back. It's available again, okay, with Bask on there about, missing parts. I'm not a complete Fokker. I've got most of my parts, whatever it says. David Eves made that one up. It's quite funny. And also the new cushion one, which is, did someone say fish? That's Bask's little catchphrase. So if you're interested at all in some products, and I'll get a tiny minuscule little commission out of it. But look, spread the love, spread the word. Get Houdini's Lifesaver out there, because scale modelling is a lifesaver. Now, The Airfix Warspite. Yes, look, it's a lot's done. I did the camo. I did all those brass barrels and improved the turrets there in the last video. There's sort of a whole lot of work went into that. And I've started on the boats. Now, the kit boats are always, pretty lacking. They're very basic. They're just kind of blobs a lot of time, especially the lifeboats. There's just not much to them. I tried 3D printing some little top pieces with like the wooden beams and everything for the lifeboats, and it was reasonably successful. And I tried a few things, and I just didn't have the capacity. I bought a model and tried to print it out to do those little blue boats, and the amount of work I'm going to have to do to those to tidy them up, like I'll have to put a whole ton of putty on and probably scratch a little piece of plastic. I might as well scratch up the entire boat from scratch. It has not solved the problem. So I eventually went, look, there's got to be a better solution. And luckily, there's this company in New Zealand. They sent me these little tubs of ice cream because they said, Harry, you need sweetening up. No, it's not bloody ice cream. These little tubs contain boats. Tiniest, you wouldn't believe it. 1/600 scale boats for British ships. Okay? They are tiny. I'll put a little photo here because really, you can't see them, but the photo makes them look very big because they're very detailed, but they are that big, Like if I put my thumb in the way, gone. They're tiny. And they're from MicroMaster in New Zealand. Yeah. So look, there'll be a link to them at the end of the video. Tons of stuff for scale models, not just, Airfix ships, although I got a lot of that. All the other ships, submarines, all kinds of stuff. 3D printed stuff that absolutely brilliant scale models. And I will paint those up and I'll put those on. That's basically the next video is I'll be doing all the boats on there. And then I'll see what else I can do. As I said in a previous video, I only need a mast and a bit of string and stuff. And, how can it be? That's one of my new t-shirts in the store too. Yeah, there's a t-shirt in the store now. It has the big rondelle and then it says, how hard can it be? Right? Which I thought was probably... at least there was something funny on it, like a big donut sort of thing with a ship in it. It's not exactly funny, but if you put something funny on it, people buy it because it's hilarious. Well, funny, humorous. Well, tickles my fancy. I'll tell you what, I haven't had much of a tickle in ages, so anything that'll give me the jollies is well worth it. All right, so that's the Warspite. That's kind of interesting. What else have I been up to? Peekaboo! Oh, tell you what, I'm loving these glasses. They're so good. They work so well. I can look down here and I can see tiny little details. Oh, I forgot to paint that. Oh, I need to fix that. Oh dear, it's going to be a problem. So, yes, thank you, ICU. Now, the St. Louis. All right. She is looking mighty. And these are those 3D printed rat lines that I produced. And I'll talk more about those later. Because although I did that for this video and I did all that, I'm actually going to continue doing with cordage because I feel I either rip all that off and I do the whole thing with plastic rat lines and plastic dead eyes, right? Do it that way and that'll be fine, it's consistent. Or I continue doing with the wooden dead eyes and cordage and have that look. So I think a mixed look is a poor way to go. That either will look fine, like if it was all the plastic, it'll look fine. It'll look really good. It'll be consistent. If it's all cordage, that will look terrific. That'll look really good, okay? So I don't think I can mix up my mediums, right? Because if you've been to any seances lately, you don't want to mix up your mediums because you don't know what you're going to conjugate, bells, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you've got to watch those demons that come out of that pot. Now, coming up later this year, because I'm taking a bit of a break from it, is the Prince, okay? And I know a lot of you have really enjoyed that, and John, who basically is the guy that was the impetus for me starting on this earlier than I had planned because he bought me a whole lot of curries in my curry store, right? So all the gilding on that, because a lot of it's been done, right? It's been fairly gilded. And the wood effects, and a lot of people remarked on my wood effects, and I know a number of people have gone out and bought the Life Colour set because they've gone, this stuff's terrific, Harry, and it really is good. It really does the job. So you can get all kinds of terrific sort of wood effects with that. You got to work it. And I've shown that in other videos. You don't just put it on and hope for the best. You put it on and then you kind of work it through. You work it through and you adjust it to get what you want. If it doesn't work, if it's total failure, then you just get the remover, pull it off, start again and try and be consistent. The trick is you've got to do long strokes, right? If you do short strokes, you'll end up with furry ends. And sometimes that's okay. I did short strokes up the top here in the light area because I wanted more of a sort of splotchy look and break it all up. I knew that would work. When it came to the bottom area, stroke, stroke, stroke. Boys know how to stroke. Yes, you all do. So you do that till you get what you want, and then you sort of work it in, and you push harder, you push less. You can also go down to the bottom of the pots, and it's darker pigment. So you can go down there, darker pigment, and run a thin line on, right? Put it on, it'll look absolutely horrible, and then you wait, and it'll fade into all the rest. And that is how I got all the differentiation and how I got all those effects. It's all about stroking, guys. Yes, yes. Once you've got your stroke down, you're as happy as Larry. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about, it's 3D printing stuff, but it's to do with modelling, right? And these are what I called rat runs. And they have both the rat lines already 3D printed for you, pretty well to scale. And then they have loops down the bottom here, okay? So, yeah, probably better I have the photo. You can see what's going on. Now, the prototype kind of worked, even though it had heaps of faults. I'd printed it wrong. I'd measured the size of the loops incorrectly. I was shoving in wooden dead eyes and they weren't fitting, so I was sort of having to cut it and do things. And I fudged it a bit on the video to make it work. But it did work, and I could hold the thing up and I could put it in. So it was possible. It was only a prototype and it was only an idea. But people wanted to buy it. They just go, where can I buy this? It's great. I want this. I want this. So I put it on the store as a pre-sale, meaning it's still under development. I'm still working it out. And this was like November of last year. I said, all right, I only made it $25 US as a starter because it's pretty cheap. Because, I mean, really, a whole ratline set was $35, $45, $50 US, you know. And this was a ratline set with the loops ready to go. And I threw in, I said, look, you can have some plastic dead eyes. Plastic dead eyes, not wooden ones, right? Which were fairly easy to print. They weren't super good quality, but by the time you put your string on them, everything, you get away with them. So this was the deal, okay? So a whole lot of people, I got about 14 orders. Phew, everybody wanted it. And a lot of them already had ratline sets available for. So it's only a matter of adding the loops, I thought, and then basically printing out a whole lot of dead eyes, which I already had a file for. Bingo bongo, come the new year, I should be able to start supplying this. And I had about half a dozen of them that I'd have to actually design the ratline set for. And that was okay. I could design a ratline set in a day. So, you know, there was 6 days work there that I could spread out over a couple of weeks and I get it done. That was the theory. What happened is I just had problem after problem after problem. Now, you probably can't see this too well, but this is the foremast for the St. Louis, right? So I'm sort of doing the St. Louis because I've already got that one. I already had done. This was the one that I showed on the video, which was the main for St. Louis. So I'm trying to do that, and it wouldn't print. It wouldn't print because we went from 4.5mm dead eyes down to 4mm dead eyes. The loops were too small. The whole thing kept degrading. The rat lines kept peeling off. Oh, this is very annoying. It took 12 prints to get that one, right? 12 times I had to go. They take 15 minutes each to print, right? And I can kill it though after about 5. I think it's going to fall to pieces. But basically, 6 days I spent on this. 6 days. Until I came up with a solution that worked. Now, the difference with this one, it's got the dead eyes already in place, right? I'll do a photo so you can see. The dead eyes are already in place with this one. And that was an idea by someone because they said, oh, I thought you were printing the whole thing as one and the dead eyes were there and it's multicolour. Well, I don't have a multicolour printer. If I did, this job would be so much easier because if you put the dead eyes in place, plastic dead eyes, right, instead of the loops, because basically everybody that ordered wanted plastic dead eyes, which they're going to have to glue in anyway. So why not put the dead eyes into it? And it prints so much easier. That works better. And I framed it better and I adjusted a few things better. And eventually, on the 7th day, he rested. That's me today. Yes. Sorry, all you Christians and everything. Look, I did. I worked for 6 days. On the 7th day, I rested. Not saying I'm a deity, you know. I mean, the only deity around here is Bass the cat. So, yeah, anyhow. That was the solution. That's what worked. And that took me a week to figure out. So, those of you that have ordered these rat runs, okay, and I think just about every one of you went tick, 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 I want the dead eyes. And then later on, people ordered the ratline set and they ordered a dead eye set as well. Okay. If you got a discount price, you're lucky. You're getting it cheap. but it's going to have the dead eyes in it. Let's wrap up this video. Now, I've got some other projects that are coming up that I know a lot of you are waiting for. The Sade list, okay? Haven't forgotten about it. Warspite needs to be finished first, okay? This is the thing, I want to finish one battleship, I'll move on to another. And I hope to get my sailing ships in that sort of way as well. But unfortunately, there's, at least 2 big sailing ships sort of needing to be done at the moment. That was just, people threw me a whole lot of curries. What are you going to do? I've got to build something, It's just how it is. So, I will get the rigging done for the St. Louis, yep, and then we'll get, once the St. Louis is sort of put to bed, then we will get back to the Prince and I'll do the masts and sails. And I'll do a slightly different rig and different way of doing it for the Prince, so that's coming up. With the Sade list, yeah, there's quite a bit of work to do. That's a video that will take most of the year. I'll sort of do it the odd month here and there. And then if we get a chance with the Deutschland class conversion, right, that'll be probably the next kind of battleship one that I'll do, and I'll work my way through. So don't get asking about the Mayoko and, and a few of my other ones, the Fuso. I've done all these reviews, I know, and I will continue to do reviews, but it's not happening. And those that watch the Star Trek video, yeah, I'm going to boldly go probably the 24th century. That's probably when I'll get time to build that kit. I don't know. It's going to be a while. I really want to spend this year work in progress. They're in my cabinet. They need to be done. They will be finished, which means that'll probably run into next year. So things like the Tamiya racing car, it's going to get done because it has to get done. It's part of work in progress. So there's quite a few in there. I think I've got 20 work in progress all up. Some of them are easy. In fact, like the Wingnut Wings kit, it's pretty well done. I think I got stopped at the lozenge. I didn't like the decal lozenge in there. But I got a 3D printer now, and I thought I could actually print paper thin masks of all the lozenge sections, right? Like the blue bit, the red bit, the purple bit, the green bit, whatever, right? Print up a mask, and with some way of being able to locate it and lock it so it's always in the same position, I could put the mask on a wing, spray, right? Put on the other side, wait till that to dry, next mask for next colour, so on and so on and so on. That might work. I believe they actually kind of screen printed them when they did them, right, in World War One. Right? That's how they did those lozenge effects on those German aircrafts. So I'm not going to screen print it, I'm going to 3D print it. So that might work. That might be a solution for that. So that's to look forward to. Maybe I'll get to that by the end of the year. Who knows, right? I have a few aircraft kits there, but the ships are going to sort of be the main drive this year. Okay. Last year I meant to do ships. What happened? Back I kept bringing around airplanes. So there was a Sunderland, and there was a Hercules, and there was a Gladiator or a Gloucester, whatever it was. Bulldog. That was it. Yes, it's Bulldog. I resisted buying the new Gladiator. So yeah, that's all that. But anyhow, that's kind of the thing. That's where we're at. That's what I'm doing. Look, please visit the store. Buy a T-shirt. You make Bask happy, right? Spread the lozenge, right? Get the lozenge out there. Get a lozenge on your nipples. Well, it's really a, what do you call it? It's a ring. It's like a lozenge. What am I thinking? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed my first F.A.R.T video. And if you enjoy this format and you'd like me to continue it, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, tough, I'm still going to keep doing them. But I could modify it. Just let me know what you liked about it and what you didn't, and we'll see how we go. But basically, I'll continue doing a mid-month sort of little progress report just to let you know what I'm up to, what's going on, and there'll be a sort of little bit of modelling news in there. And I'll be plugging things like my glasses, right? I see you. Yeah, great guys. If you're up this way, they're terrific. They're only a small little shop and nice little guy that runs it and everything. There you go, okay? And of course, Bassa Cat made an appearance again, yes. I hope you like those. She likes being in the videos, so cheers her up. All right, that's it. If you made it this far, thank you. And as usual, your job is buttons, okay? All right, I did the farting. You're doing the buttoning. That's your job. Click, 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 click. Like one's expel and one is dismiss and one is stinky and one is smelly. I don't know. Click the button, see what happens. And of course, you can always buy me a curry. And there was quite a lot of curries last time. Thank you very much for everybody that donated. That is really good. That's going into my house moving fund, because all of this has to move somewhere else, because yes, I have been booted out of here, sort of. It was mutual. I was willing to be booted. I had enough. I need to move somewhere that'll suit my modelling better and it's not as noisy. And Bassa Cat needs a garden. She doesn't really have one here. So there's all these things. We'll be moving, more things happening, lots to look forward to in 2025. All right. Bye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Houdini. Is it a good one? What do you think? I thought it was interesting. Well, I hope so. I hope they liked it.